I see conversations online a lot of times where, they'll be saying, here's this guy, this is what's going on, what should I do? And then the feedback that they get is, it's time for this person to go. Um, my question is, how, that's going to be a tough conversation. And, putting it off can be kind of detrimental, to the organization. What happens when we put off these conversations?
Mm. They act as a cancer in the organization. So the worst part about putting off a fire that needs to happen for a poor performing employee, whatever the reason, is that the messaging is that it's okay to perform poorly because you still have a job. I was working with an organization recently, and when I do these internal assessments and interviews, it came up that there was this running joke that you could never get fired from this company. That is an entrepreneur's nightmare because then there's no incentive to perform at your best, to continue developing and growing and returning that value to the organization. So there's, a lot of people I find delay it because it's a tough conversation and they're fearful of um, having it or just hurting someone's feelings or whatever. But it is way more costly to keep that person on.
So in our organization, we talk a lot about extreme ownership, and I find that that really helps with a conversation. Um, if you go into a conversation and you are immediately, even if you don't think it's your problem, you don't think it's your company's problem, you don't think it's your personal problem, but you take time. We have emotions and we have logic, right? And typically our emotions are leading us more than we'd like to admit. And so get your emotions in order, get your ego in order, which is what I think you're saying. But then take ownership in the situation. What could we be doing differently? What could we be doing better? How did my actions or our company's actions lead to this situation? And if you enter that conversation and you immediately take ownership, think about how that changes how that person is going to be more open to whatever that tough conversation is going to be, right? It's like, hey, I'm going to take ownership. We're here because of me, and let's work together to find the solution to this current problem. It's going to be a much more productive conversation than if you go into it and say, hey, you're having this issue and you need to improve this. Just think about how that affects you on an emotional way.